Hello and welcome to another episode. I am Brian, the Unskilled Commander. This is Match 3, me the Immortal, Obeka, Splitter of Seconds, the Third Doctor, and Kemba, Regent. My Commander Damage Clash. This, of course, is my gameplay series where I test my decks against themselves to try and find their weaknesses, make them stronger, learn about deck building, and learn about making sure I watch the board states better. As usual, we've gone through the first 3 turns already just doing our play a land pass for the most part. I will call out all the things that have happened as we hit each deck. Me, the Immortal, got to go first, so we're going to untap over here on turn 4. We played a Bonder's Ornament, and we had a Soul Ring on turn 2, which was nice. We could have tried to play Me, the Immortal last time. Unfortunately, we just did not have enough colors. We're going to draw for turn, not another land, but that's okay, because now we will tap for red, blue, green, and 2 others to cast Me, the Immortal. A 3/3 says at the beginning of combat on your turn, you may put your choice of a +1/+1, Vigilance, First Strike, or Menace counter on Me the Immortal, and the counters do not leave as she moves between zones, except for your hand in the library, but for the most part you can always choose to go to the command zone first, so those don't come off for the most part. Pretty awesome. I don't have anything else I can play, so we're going to go ahead and pass. Over here on Obeka, we were able to just play some lands. And over here we just played Creeping Bloodsucker, which is a 1/2 that says at the beginning of your upkeep, it deals 1 damage to each opponent and you gain life equal to the damage dealt this way, which is pretty impressive. It's not just you gain 1 life. So we untap upkeep, each of our opponents lose 1 life, and we gain 3. We draw a card for turn. Yes, it's a land. Excellent. I play the land, tapping 4 blue, red, and black to play Obeka, Splitter of Seconds. A 2/5 with Menace, and she says when she does combat damage to a player, you gain that many additional upkeep steps immediately after this phase. Now you can see how much life we could gain with Creeping Bloodsucker out, and if we can get some of these other things out, we could do some really good damage. Now that I do have a blocker, we might as well swing the Creeping Bloodsucker. Why not, right? We will swing 1 damage over at you, and pass turn. I hope you're all having a good day out there when you're watching this. Thank you very much for checking out my channel, watching the videos. Please subscribe, throw some likes around, all that stuff. We're going to go over here to the Third Doctor. Untap. All we really did over here was play a Mirrored Landscape turn 1, and we're able to, last turn, crack it for 2 forests. Now we upkeep and draw. I'll play an island for turn, tapping 4 mana to cast the Third Doctor. A 2/2 with Trample that says he gets +1/+1 for each non-creature token you control, and when he enters the battlefield, you can make your choice of a clue, food, or treasure token. So I will make a treasure token. So now he's a 3/3 with Trample. Technically, we have 2 mana available to us, but there's nothing I really want to do right now, so we will pass. Over to Kemba, Regent. We're going to untap. Upkeep, no upkeep triggers. We actually played quite a bit over here. We played lands, but we got Commander Sphere, Explorer Scope, which whenever equipped creature attacks, look at the top card of your library. If it's a land, you may put it on the battlefield. With mono white, any kind of land ramp or deck thinning is extremely important, so this is a great card for that. And more importantly, Commander's Plate. Equipped creature gets +3/+3 and has protection from each color that's not in your commander's color identity. Fantastic for monocolored commanders. I'm going to draw a card for turn. I'm going to play a land, tapping 3 to play Kemba, Regent. She's a 2/4 that says the beginning of your upkeep. Put a 2/2 white cat creature token on the battlefield for each equipment attached to Kemba. I will tap 1 and equip the Explorer's Scope. But that is all we can do over here. Going to pass turn. So all the decks are actually doing some stuff this time. It's not bad. Going to come over here to turn 5, untap, upkeep, draw for turn. Ooh, that's a really good one for me, the Immortal. Any of these decks, really. So we'll play it. One of my favorite equipments, tapping 2 for Trailblazer Boots. Equipped creature has non-basic land walk. As I've said before, in Commander, pretty much every deck has non-basic lands, even monocolored decks. Obviously, that's a little bit more rare for monocolored decks, but they still run Reliquary Tower, Rogue's Passage, things like that. You're going to see it on occasion. So for the most part, Trailblazer Boots pretty much just makes your creature unblockable, period. Sometimes you can get up against somebody that just has nothing but basics, and it doesn't do much for you. But for the most part, it's a great card. I apologize. I already messed up. I was trying to go a little too quick. Me, the Immortal, should have Vigilance on her because I played her and then went to combat and was able to do something I basically forgot. I'm going to go ahead and tap 2 and equip the Trailblazer Boots now. Move to combat. and give her a +1/+1 counter. So now she is a 4/4 with Vigilance. She can get in anywhere now because everyone has non-basic lands except for Kemba, as we've said. So there you go. So I can take out these characters for the most part, but Kemba will be tricky unless they play something like a Rogue's Passage. And of course, now that we've seen the Trailblazer Boots, if you're in a real game, unless you desperately need the mana, you would sit on any non-basic lands just to try and buy yourself some time. But regardless, I have nothing for blocker, so I'm not going to go ahead and swing just yet. We're going to pass. Untap, upkeep. Everybody loses a life. I gain 3, and then I draw a card. This is great. We're going to play Drowned Catacombs, and it does come in untapped because we have a swamp or an island. We actually have one of each. Oh, wow. You know what, everybody? Looks like Obeka is going to get off to a pretty solid start. Now, she did win match 1, but that was more of a, she wasn't doing anything because she was getting land screwed, and these 3 decks were kind of duking it out, and she snuck in for the win at the end. At least now she looks like she's poised to do some stuff properly. We're going to go ahead and tap 2 black and 2 others for the Court of Ambition. When it enters the battlefield, you become the Monarch. Boom, little Monarch token there. At the beginning of my upkeep, each opponent loses 3 life unless they discard a card. If you're the Monarch, instead, each opponent loses 6 life unless they discard a card. Now, we're not able to buff up Obeka right now, so she still will just be a 2/5. However, she has Menace, and everyone only has 1 creature out. Gotta admit, normally, in this point in the game, everyone's got like 2-3 cards out, creatures out because they're little weenie mana dorks, whatever. Even with my decks, they tend to always have 2 creatures out by now. So this is really impressive that she can get in anywhere she wants. So we're going to move to combat. We're going to swing Obeka, and I will swing her at, well, you know what? You have the non-basic land walk, so we're going to swing her at you. So you will take 2 Obeka damage, but here comes the crazy. We're going to get 2 more upkeeps, and so both of these are going to trigger. And we're still the Monarch because we just became the Monarch. No one's even had a chance to swing out at us. So everyone is going to just automatically lose 2 life. Oops, not me. And then I'm going to gain 6. Now, of course, these trigger together. I'm just doing them as separate cards. But it would be Creeping Bloodsucker hits everybody for 1. I gain 3. Court of Ambition goes around. Then Creeping Bloodsucker, Court of Ambition. I'm just doing them together to make it easier on myself. But now, Court of Ambition, I'm the Monarch. So everyone's going to lose 6 life unless they discard 2 cards. Holy crap, that is such an amazingly good card. I mean, I knew that, that's why it's in there, but it's just when you're reading it out loud and it's actually functioning, you're like, holy shit. Let's see. We'll go ahead in proper turn order, so like no one has any kind of responses, I don't believe. Let me make sure. Yeah, so for this round, I will discard 2 cards. We'll get rid of Rise and Shine. That's not going to come into play for a while. Over here with Kemba, go ahead and get rid of these 2. Now, we don't have to discard. We're just saving ourselves 6 life, though. And everyone's got decent, amounts of cards, so it's kind of a good time to do it. Yeah, we'll go ahead and get rid of these 2. So that was the first one. But now it's going to go around again, and everyone's, I think, just going to take 6. Because now we're down to some really good cards, and we're not going to want to get rid of them. So that was pretty sweet. That was an awesome thing. Now, of course, basically me, the Immortal, can easily take the Monarch away. So at least that'll be down slightly. But we're going to pass. Well, we'll see. Who knows, right? We're going to go over here. We're going to untap. Upkeep. Draw for turn. Go ahead and tap a forest for a Soul Ring that we just top decked. Soul Ring and another forest for a Bonder's Ornament. 1, 2, and 3 for City of Death. It's going to come in as it's got 6 upkeeps. So the first one, we get a treasure. But now we have 2 treasures. And then after this, it's create a token that's a copy of a target non-saga token you control. So we're obviously just going to continue to make copies of the treasures. The third Doctor is now a 4/4 with trample. Great. And everyone, at this point, everyone agrees that Obeka is definitely a threat. So I think if the third Doctor were to swing out, it wouldn't be too big of a deal. Obeka also has 55 life, so everyone swinging in is understandable. So they kind of, spoken or unspoken, I think that the people at this table would kind of be like, yeah, we're not going to attack each other. So we'll go ahead and 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 damage over there. Hey, we're the Monarch now. So that means we move to our end step, but we draw a card. Sweet. Pass turn. Untap over here, upkeep, draw. Now, of course, hey, maybe I want that Monarch, but that's not a big deal. We're going to play a Plains for turn. We're going to tap 3 to equip your commander with Commander's Plate, and then tapping 1, 2, 3 to no, it's equipment. So, Caduceus Staff of Hermes. Equipped creature has lifelink. As long as you have 30 or more life, equipped creature has +5/+5 and indestructible and prevent all damage that will be dealt to this creature. We can't equip it yet. We did make a cat on our upkeep, but I put the old upkeep reminder in the deck because she had the Explorer's Scope. So as everyone else, we're going to go swinging at Obeka. The thing is, she has protection from every color that's not in her color identity, which means nobody else has white, so she can, this almost makes her basically makes her unblockable as well. So she's 5 commander, and when this creature attacks, look at the top card of your library, it is a land, it's a mirror landscape. So you put it onto the battlefield. Excellent. Does come in tapped, of course. And then she's going to deal 5 commander to you as well. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Nothing else over here. We're going to pass. I feel kind of bad for Obeka that, getting dogpiled on like this, but 55 life, dealing lots of damage, lots of upkeeps. It's understandable. We're going to turn 6. Untap over here. Draw. We will do a green and a red and Soul Ring for 2 to play Hala and Elena partners. 2/3, first strike, reach. At the beginning of combat on your turn, put X counters on another target creature you control, where X is Halana and Elena's power. That creature gains haste until end of turn. So we will move to combat. I will put a counter on me, the Immortal, based off of her own ability. And then, because Halana and Elena are at 2/3, we will put another 2 counters on her. So she is now a 7/7 with vigilance and non-basic land walk. Move to combat, swing her over at you. You can't block her. So now everyone's taking a crack at her. Getting a little mean, but that is the way things happen if Obeka goes off pretty quick like that. We're going to go ahead and pass turn. Untap, upkeep. Upkeep triggers. 1, 2, 3. You each take a damage. And then you lose 3 life unless you discard a card. Kemba only has 1 card in hand. They're not going to do it, so 1, 2, 3. I think everyone else is just going to take 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Make it a little easier on myself. And I don't think it's completely it's not bad choice. It's not like, oh, we should totally dump. Nobody has lands. If I had lands, I would just dump the lands. But everyone's got some decent cards in hand right now, and I don't really feel the need to discard. So then we draw for turn over here. Ooh, that's decent. Now, me the Immortal can block Obeka, but Kemba and the Third Doctor are open again. I believe I'm going to tap 2 for the Ring of Valkus. Equipped creature has haste. At the beginning of upkeep, put a counter on it for if the equipped creature is red. I will then tap 1 to equip it to Obeka. That won't boost her at all now, but if she hits, she'll get bigger for next time. Yeah, unfortunately. Now, I top decked the ring just now. That was a great top deck, but a land would also have been nice, especially something like a mountain or something. So yes, of course, we're going to move to combat. Everyone attacked, and you did the most damage, but I think we're going to send it at Kemba, simply because she had the most life, and she's, unblockable. Whereas Third Doctor is just trample. Okay, so we connected for 2. Now we're going to have 2 upkeeps. 2 upkeeps means she gets 2 counters, so she's even better for next time. Everyone is going to lose 2 life. I'm going to gain 6, and then everyone has to do the discard thing. Again, she's just going to lose 3. Not a great idea. This time around, it would be 6, because it happens twice, and I don't know that Kemba wants to do that. So I think she'll go ahead and discard this 1 card she had. The Doctor will discard this 1 card and then take 3. And I guess we'll discard 1, take 3. So still, Obeka is doing quite well. It's all we really can do, though, so we will pass turn. Now again, she's just going to get clocked hard 1 more time from everybody. So we untap, upkeep, draw. This goes to 2, so we get another treasure copy of one another. I'll play a land for turn. 1, 2, 3, 4. For Spark Double. You may have Spark Double enter the battlefield as a copy of a creature or planeswalker you control, except it enters with an additional 1 counter on it if it's creature, and loyalty if it's a loyalty, and it's not legendary if that permanent is legendary. So it's going to enter as the Third Doctor. It's going to have an extra +1/+1 counter on it, and when it enters, I'm going to choose to make another treasure. I want to play, so I'm just not sure what's the threat, really. It is enchantment. Okay, so we're totally doing that. We're tapping 3 to play Spider Food, destroying the enchantment court. And when we do so, we make a food token. So there we go. Much better. There we go. That helps out the table. We probably could have done that last turn as well. but I wasn't thinking. I was only looking at the artifact aspect of it and wasn't thinking about the enchantment. So we got 4, 5. So the third Doctor is a 7/7, and the copy is an 8/8. Obviously, we're going to swing it at you. It's not even a question. As I said, it's a 7/7. You're not going to block with your little life gain guy, even though life gain doesn't really have much impact on commander damage. All right, so you took another 7 damage from the third Doctor. We are still the Monarch, so we are going to... Well, wait a second. How does that work? Whenever a creature deals damage. Well, shoot, I guess that means the Monarch went back because this is a creature and it deals damage. Does it say combat damage? Oh, it is combat damage. Okay, so yeah, no one's saying. So we're still the Monarch, so we move to our end step, draw a card. Cool, and pass. Untap, upkeep. We're going to make 2 more cats. Meow. Draw a card for turn. Tap 2 and equip the Staff of Hermes. So she now has lifelink, and the other aspect's not going to be a concern unless she somehow gets back up to over 30. I am going to tap 2 and sacrifice the Mirrored Landscape to get 2 basic planes on the battlefield, simply because that's good deck thinning, again, especially in a monocolor deck. Shuffle up and hopefully get closer to some better cards. We're going to move to combat. Obviously, we're swinging at Obeka. On the attack, we get to lift the top. It's not a land, so it stays there. And so 3, 4, 5. So she's only a 5 still. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. But we do gain 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So that's cool. We're going to go ahead and pass turn then. Coming back to me, the Immortal, on turn 7. Untap, upkeep, draw for turn. It's a land. We'll play the land. I'll tap for a green and 3 others to play the enchantment Concord with the Kami. The beginning of your end step, choose 1 or more. Put a counter on target creature with a counter on it. Draw a card if you control an enchanted creature, and create a 1/1 colorless spirit creature token if you control an equipped creature. I think I'm going to go ahead and tap for a green and 1 other to over the edge, destroying your commander plate, because that's giving you essentially unblockable, and it's a nice big boost, and you're gaining life off of it, so we'll destroy that. I guess, well, see again, like, should we just destroy the ring? Because that's boosting Obeka. But as soon as she ticks over 30, she's going to get more abilities off of that. And here's the thing. Well, it does, at this point, she can still get in and through on the Doctor. So I guess maybe we shouldn't have attacked, but really we're just going to lose a little bit of life. And she's going to gain life, which again doesn't matter so much for these decks. So I think that was still probably the best bet. So we're going to move to the beginning of combat. We're going to give her a counter, and then give her 2 more off of Halana and Lena's ability. So that makes her a 10/10 with Vigilance, which is fantastic. Now let's see what we're looking at. Yeah, okay, so 1, 2, 3. So yeah, we swing her at you, we deal 10 damage. We move to our end step, we're going to give her another counter, and then pass turn. So now it's quite clear that Obeka is not going to win. We're going to untap. She will get an extra counter off of this, and then everyone will lose 1 life. No, not me. And then I gain 3. We're going to draw for turn. Ooh, that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That is good. Yeah, I don't know that that's going to win it. However, it could get kind of close, to be honest. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to do it. We're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 to play Bestest Girl, Karlach, Fury of Avernus. A 5/4 that says whenever you attack, if it's the first combat phase of the turn, untap all attacking creatures. They gain first strike until end of turn. After this phase, there's an additional combat phase. So let's get there. We're going to move to combat. We're going to swing at the third Doctor, who now everyone else is yelling at. You should have left up blockers. You know she has menace. So she's a 5/5, or actually she's a 5/8. You can't stop it. You're going to take 5 commander. Surprisingly, I guess I never really hit him with that yet. But more importantly, this is going to deal 5 damage to each opponent, and we're going to gain 15 life. And then this is going to get 5 more counters, untapped. And, well, it actually untapped when we went for the first combat. And then now we would move to our second combat of the turn, swing again at you, 8, 9, 10. You're just dead. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. But then that would put 10 counters on here, making her plus 18, plus 18. So she's a 20/20. But everyone loses 10 life, and we gain 20. Amazing. Now, they're still at 7 and 2. They can crack back, and honestly, I think they can probably kill. Let's see what we got. Yeah, me, the Immortal, can definitely take her out. Kemba probably can't, but me, the Immortal, can. So it was a valiant effort. If we could have just figured out a way to get a little bit more, as always, It's always that way with commander damage decks. You're like, oh, I'm 1 short or 3 short or something. It's like you almost get there. But that was amazing. That was a great thing. We're gonna pass turn. You are the caboose. We untap. Upkeep. We have 3 cats that are good to go, which could come into play. And then we make another 2. We draw for turn. We did kind of know what that was. Well, see, yeah, let's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 to play Regal Caracal. Other cats get +1/+1 and have lifelink. When it enters the battlefield, create 2 1/1 white cat creature tokens with lifelink. Boom and kaboom. So that's awesome. However, we're not getting any. You know what, Will? Yeah, we're going to sacrifice the command sphere to draw a card. Well, we're going to tap 2 for an arcane signet, and that's what we top decked, but that doesn't help. We could take her out. I actually have a card, Repel the Darkness, that would have allowed me to tap 2 creatures and draw a card. I could have tapped them down, sent 1 cat, and then sent everything else over there, but it wouldn't be enough because Kemba hasn't been doing good commander damage. So Kemba doesn't have a shot at taking her out. She could only kill me, the Immortal, and then just die, so that would be done. We're going to send, well, Kemba doesn't have protection anymore, so she really can't go anywhere, because she is only a 2/4, her natural 2/4, nothing's giving her any buffs, so Karlach could destroy her. So there you go, we're going to have to go ahead and pass turn. Passing over to turn 7 or 8, I always tend to miss at least one. Untap, upkeep, draw. You know, I guess Kemba could win, now that I think about it, because if me, the Immortal, goes over there and kills her, even with the vigilance, you can only block 2 of this massive horde that's going to come in, so it doesn't matter which. Even if these 2 little 1/1s get through, they take out me, the Immortal. Now, we do have something in hand that can stop Kemba, so we just have to remember to play it. So, okay, so we're going to go to combat. We swing non-basic land walk. You're done. Boom. I mean, let's check for sure, but it's already at 17. There we go, up to 9, then another 2, so she would be a 14/14. So, yeah, you're taking an additional 14. That's not even it, but yeah, kaboosh. Such a great attempt. So then we pass turn to Kemba. So now we've got 5, and we make the 2. Draw a card for turn. Tap 3 for Stratascythe. It enters the battlefield. Search your library for a land card. Exile it. So we're going to exile a Plains under it. And it gets, equipped creature gets +1/+1 for each land of the same name on the battlefield. So if anyone else had a Plains, it would boost her as well. We're going to tap 3 to equip it. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Now, 7, 8, 9. Now she's a 9/9. Now here's the thing. We know that me, the Immortal, has a fog in her hand, but Kemba doesn't. Now Kemba sees that she's got all of her mana up and 2 cards in hand, so that does make it weird. Like, you got to take advantage of that, or you must always be aware of cards in hand and untapped lands. And you don't want to swing out unless you're absolutely sure you're going to get through with a full send. So I think having Kemba being so big is a good blocker right now, although unfortunately me, the Immortal, is unblockable. Or no, we have nothing but, yeah, we're good. So we're going to go ahead and send these 5 2/2s at you. You block 2, 3 of them still get through for 6 damage, you're at 2. Ba-boom. You, of course, are like, damn, I was hoping you would full send, because I'm going to tap 2 and Haze of Pollen, prevent all combat damage that we dealt this turn. You're like, I knew you had something in your hand, you jerk. We're going to pass turn. Untap, upkeep, draw, possibly turn 9 or 10. I will tap 2. Well, wait a second. So now's the interesting point. That was it. Like, we really got to get through here, but we can't. So we're going to tap 2 and play Contentious Plan. Proliferate and draw a card. So this goes up to 12, and we draw a card. Is it something we can use to get through? Nope. It's just a ramp spell. So tap it to, well, actually we would do these, leave lands up. Oh wait, how stupid. Hang on. Well, I mean, I did it, but the point is we have a friggin' Rogue's Passage that, like a moron, I didn't pay attention to. This is one of those things that's like, if I make me, the Immortal, win, it's kind of a fake win because I played a card and drew a card and started to play another one. So to roll that back, no one's going to let you do that. They're not going to be like, oh yeah, I'll go ahead and take back 2 moves so I can let you win. But once again, you got to look at your cards, people. You got to look at your cards. It's not about the whole reading the card explains the card. That's stupidity. It's like literally read your cards to know what you have access to on the battlefield in your hands. Always read them. all of the way through, not just the first couple words and say, yeah, I know what this does. Because it was hidden. I was like this, and I just totally was like, yeah, tapping. Didn't even look at the words that says Rogue's Passage, because that would have been it. That would have been the win right there. But I'm going to have to give it to Kemba because I did that stuff. So, you know what? We played that, and then we stupidly... And the only reason I actually realized was because I was like, oh, well, we should play this smarter and leave the lands up and use these for the cultivate. And that's when I saw that the Rogue's Passage was under the Cinderglade. So we just get 2 lands, 1 in the battlefield tapped, 1 in my hand, a mountain on the field, or a mountain on the battlefield tapped. Forest on the battlefield tapped, mountain to my hand, play the mountain. I got 3 mana, cool, nothing I can do with it. Go to combat. She ticks up to 13, and then 2 more up to 15. She is an 18/18 with vigilance, so there's no point in not swinging, so we swing. What the heck? There's no trample, so there's no real need for Kemba to even worry. She just blocks with a 1/1 with lifelink. Gains a life. Move to the end step. Give her another counter. Come over here. Untap. Upkeep. 7 of these make 1, 2, 3 more. Draw a card for turn. Tap 2 for an Endless Atlas. Just a card draw engine. And then, yeah, tap 3, repel the darkness, tap down your creatures, and I draw a card, and then swing. Now they do have untapped lands and a card in hand, but I say we full send. I guess if you want to play smart, you leave these ones up. And these ones can't attack anyway, but yeah, you send these. Kemba, which is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. She's a 9 something, and then 7 2/2s. Kaboosh, you are the done. Now that is because of my stupidity. Me, the Immortal, should have won. But you know what? That's what happens when you don't pay attention to your games, people. Pay attention to your cards. And that's why I have the channel. One of the 2 reasons, man. It's to stop myself from doing this against real people and looking stupid. And also to get people to watch me when I stream and do charity streams so that they can donate and I can raise more money for Extra Life. Extra Life right here. But there you go. I hope you enjoyed the episode. I hope you learned from my mistakes, because that's one of the things I can try and contribute to the community is my mess ups can hopefully make you guys better. But thanks for checking it out. Subscribe, follow, all that garbage. Check out my other social medias like TikTok and stuff like that. Give those a follow. I will see you next time.